Hey there, welcome back to my channel. What is the secret to losing belly fat? I'm sure that that's something you would like to know, and today we're going to talk about it. What specific things that you can do to get rid of that fat that accumulates around our bellies in midlife through our 40s, 50s, and 60s. We're going to talk about that today. Now, as I started into midlife in my 40s, I started to collect a little bit of belly fat around my belly. And my first thought, or what I was told, was it's because you've had children. You will always have a belly because you've had children. You'll always have a muffin top. And I thought that that was right, that my stomach had been stretched out by carrying these children, and I would just have to live with it. But the more I learned about lifestyle and how to address your hormones, I realized that there must be a way for me to get rid of that muffin top so that I could feel more comfortable. I hated having pants on that I could button and felt okay in, and then when I sat down, it spilled over the top, and I just felt self-conscious and uncomfortable. Plus, the whole idea that belly fat is a precursor to diabetes, to heart disease. It's something that is not a healthy attribute that we want to have. And so once I decided that I wasn't going to just live with it because I had had babies and I was midlife and belly fat was just part of it, once I decided to look for a way out, that's when I brought control back into my own life and I took care of my belly fat. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. First of all, we are going to talk about what belly fat is. We want to understand why it is that we have this developing, especially at this stage in life. We also are going to talk about fasting tips, what you can do in your fasting lifestyle to help with belly fat, specifically your nutrition, how you should be eating, and also exercise and movement, what else you can do. The secret is in your lifestyle, and I'm going to talk about how to put that all together to address your belly fat. Okay, so in midlife, when your estrogen naturally starts to decline, insulin goes up to offset that. And when that happens, women start to store excess fat around their abdomen. It's just part of what's happening with the hormones. So our goal at this time of life is try to keep our insulin as low as possible. And that means you can do that in different ways, but that's the goal. To keep from getting too much glucose, too much sugar running in your blood, going into your body so that insulin goes up, because it's already going to be going up because of lowered estrogen. And we don't want to add to that. We want to keep our insulin under control, help bring that down so that the fat isn't being stored around our bellies. And losing the belly fat isn't just about appearance or feeling better about ourselves. It's also a health issue. When you are carrying fat around your abdomen, man or woman, your risk for chronic diseases goes up. And so it's a health issue also. So the things I'm going to talk about today, how to lose the belly fat, is not only good for vanity reasons, because you want to look and feel your best, but also to keep you healthy and for longevity. So let's talk about it. The first thing we're going to talk about to put into place to help get rid of the belly fat is to put in an intermittent fasting protocol, practice, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. And what this does is intermittent fasting gives your body, your digestive tract, a chance to rest, a chance to break down the food you ate, a chance to distribute it where it needs to go in your body, get rid of what it doesn't need, and helps your body to run rhythmically, keeping your glucose low and your insulin low, because we want to avoid those high, constant, frequent spikes of insulin. So intermittent fasting gives your body a time to rest, a time for the sugar to come down, the insulin to come down, and for your body to start to tap into those fat stores. After you fast like 12 hours, your body has digested your food. Then when you get to 17 hours, that's where you start to get into ketosis and autophagy, and you want your body, ketosis is the state when your body starts to go and burn fat for fuel. It's used up all the sugar, it's cleared out all the food, and now it knows there's no more food coming in. So at that time is when your body switches over to your fat burning system, which is going into ketosis, and starts to produce ketones from fat. So it produces ketones, which is a fuel that your brain and body can run on. And that's what your body, it's so intelligently designed that when it runs out of sugar, it goes, okay, I'm going to go and find the stored sugar that I have in the belly, and I'm going to burn that and make fuel, make my brain fuel, my energy fuel, which is ketones. And that's the whole idea why we want to be fasting, because we want our bodies to get into this rhythm of going from being a sugar burner over to be a fat burner, and to start this healing process to bringing down this high glucose, getting our insulin levels to be level, to be in a healthy range, so that our bodies can start tapping into that fat that we have accumulated around our belly. And fasting, especially over 50, is an opportunity to balance out our hormones, because that is the big issue of why the belly fat is being stored anyway, is there is a flow and a change of our hormones. Naturally, it's expected to happen, but fasting, when you're over 30, 40, or 50, or whatever, helps to keep those hormones in balance so that they can work better for you. It's the imbalance and the spikes of the hormones that cause this storage of fat around your belly. But fasting helps to clean out certain systems, helps to bring those hormones back into balance so that your body is working the way it should and not storing the things that it doesn't know what to do with, the overabundance, the extra stuff that we have around are running through our bodies. That's what it is storing it. Fasting helps for your body naturally to dip into that storage and start burning it for energy. And fasting really does address belly fat. I talked in a few videos back about how this study, where the 36-hour study, they fast for 36, they eat for 12. And what happened, they did that for 30 days, is they lost a significant amount of belly fat, because that's what fasting does. It helps you to address specifically belly fat if your systems are running the way they should, if you're giving your body time to heal, time to dip into that. That's what it addressed. That's where they saw the most benefit, was in their belly fat. So keep that in mind. For me, fasting has totally changed my body composition. I was struggling with belly fat. I had had several pregnancies, and fasting was what was the absolute best tool for me to slim that stomach down, to get rid of that muffin top. I'm just going by personal experience, and I'm sharing with you what happened with me, and fasting has really helped, because it's doing two things. When you get into fasting, you are burning fat, which that's a great thing. That's burning that belly fat. But you're also, when you fast those longer fasts, getting into autophagy. And autophagy is when your body is, well, it means autophagy, self-eating. So that means your body is going to, once you fasted long enough, is going to go into a mode of self-eating damaged, worn out, troubled cells and proteins. So when you do that, it automatically helps to take care of like extra skin, extra scarring. So you're getting two things at once. You're getting loss of the fat, and you're getting the tightening of the skin as you continue to fast long. That's not going to happen overnight. This is a lifestyle, but you are getting 2 for 1 on that. So if you're just a beginner and you think, I want to start fasting, I want to build this lifestyle and start working on getting rid of my belly fat for good, and you're just start with a 16-8. Fast for 16 hours and eat 2 or 3 meals within an 8-hour eating window. Start there and just build up from it. But once you start implementing fasting into your lifestyle, you will see how powerful it is, how quickly it can work for you, and why you want this as part of your lifestyle for the rest of your life. But you can begin slow and start from there, and then see what happens. And when you're doing that, you have to make sure that you're staying hydrated. drinking water, making sure you get plenty of minerals and extra electrolytes while you're fasting, because as your body's getting rid and taking care of those damaged cells, burning your fat for fuel, you are going to lose some minerals and you're going to lose some electrolytes. So you want to replenish those, and you want to make sure they're getting into the cells. You want to drink your water, make sure it's getting into the cells, and it does that through having minerals to help bring it into the cells. So make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you get your electrolytes. This whole process, it's so important to help you feel better. And I know for me, electrolytes has kept my headaches away, but the other things really helped me with is leg cramps. When I first started fasting, even the 16/8, I would get cramps in my legs, especially at night. And since implementing electrolytes into my lifestyle, I take them twice a day. I don't have the leg cramps anymore. I don't have to jump out of bed and dance around and try to get that cramp away. The electrolytes have taken care of that. So just wanted to mention that. So important. After intermittent fasting, the next thing is nutrition, whole foods. You want to make sure that you are eating whole foods. And the reason is because when you start eating highly processed toxic foods, firstly, highly processed, high carb foods, that'll increase your blood glucose, and then that'll increase your insulin, and that's that storage hormone. So if there's too much, it's going to be stored into belly fat. So we want to work with our intermittent fasting and getting rid of belly fat with using nutrition to help support this effort that we're trying to do. And it will become that quicker, that much easier to be when you're fasting and you're making sure you're getting whole foods, making sure that you're getting healthy fats, good protein, and vegetables, some fruits, but you want to keep the carb count down. I find that you lose more belly fat if you're keeping your carb count down and only getting nature's carbs, green vegetables, leafy green vegetables, maybe some root vegetables, big salads, but protein, healthy fat, and those types of foods. You want to make sure that you're feeding yourself with whole foods. And when you eat, remember that you are eating to live. You're not living your life circled around food. You're not living to eat, you're eating to live. So when you pick these foods that are one ingredient, whole foods that are nutrient dense, you are actually helping your body to do what it was created to do. It was created to get fuel from your fat. It was created to store, but then it was also created to go and get that storage and use on a daily basis when you weren't eating. So you are just keeping your body in this rhythm, in this cycle of eating and burning. And when you stretch the fast a little more with eating whole foods, then that fat burning really picks up and you really can target your stomach. The next thing that we want to incorporate is exercise. Now, with intermittent fasting and eating a healthy diet, you can lose fat. You will lose fat. But for longevity and to feel good and to give you more energy and an all-around tightening of muscle, helping with muscle building, because muscle burns fat, so we want more muscle on our bodies. So strength training, that's important, especially in our 40s, 50s, and as we get older, because we need to build this muscle, because muscle really, after 40, starts to deteriorate very fast. And then it's harder to build it at that time. So, but even if you are in your 50s or you're in your 60s, anytime you can start to build muscle. You can eat a nutritious, protein-rich diet, you can fast, and you can build muscle. So it's important to do that, not only for our overall well-being, but to help our bodies really kick into burning fat. We burn more, our metabolism goes up with muscle, so that's important. But just like diet, you can only find, the best diet for you, the diet that's going to work, is the one you can stick to. And the same goes for exercise. What are you going to stick to? If you have committed to just walking, then do it. If that's what you can do and you can stick to, then do it. If you're going to lift weights in your living room 2 or 3 days a week and you can commit to that, you enjoy it, you're going to stick to it, then do it. The best exercise program for you, the best diet for you, is the one you're going to stick with long term. And this actually all works together to build a lifestyle, just like your fasting. Fasting becomes part of your lifestyle when your why is so big that you know you want to do it long term. because you have a big why. Maybe your big why is your belly fat because of vanity reasons, because you want to look and feel your best, because it is going to cut out chronic disease. Whatever your why is, if it's big enough, it's going to help you build that lifestyle and build it into something that you will stick to day after day, and so that you can lose that belly fat, regain your health, and have a long, healthy life. Now, the next thing we have to think about is stress. Stress and belly fat. Now, the reason why stress really causes an increase in belly fat is when we are stressed, our cortisol goes up. And cortisol, it's our movement hormone. It's the hormone that 2 hours after you get up in the morning, it's released. So your cortisol goes up, and that's the best time to go for a walk or to work out or do some kind of movement, because that's when your cortisol naturally is coming up, and that's your movement hormone. If you do not move when the cortisol is coming up, then that will turn into storage. And cortisol, unfortunately, gets stored in the belly as belly fat. So once you realize that, you understand, okay, 2 hours after I get up, I have to do something. Go for a 5-minute walk, do some exercises, some squats, whatever. And then during the day, say you're at work and you get off the phone, you just had a stressful conversation with somebody on the phone, and you're sitting at your desk. Well, as you're sitting there at your desk, the overabundance of cortisol, your body just takes that and stores it into belly fat. You need to get up and move. When you feel that stress and you feel that cortisol come up, it's a stressful situation, you need to get up and move. That helps with releasing that cortisol, breaking it down, and then it doesn't get stored. And the next thing you want to do is protect your sleep. You have to make sure that you're getting adequate sleep at night. That helps to keep your hormone levels level. Sleep is the time when we burn the most fat, and you want to protect that. That's the healing process. That's the time when our bodies start to just get rid of what's happened this day before and help us to wake up refreshed and renewed for the new day. But it's very important to protect your sleep for metabolic health, for your mental health, for everything. You need to protect your sleep. So that's very important. And because that's the time when you're burning fat, and that's what this video is about, is burning belly fat, then you want to make sure that you protect it and you're getting enough. So set a bedtime, set a wake up time, make sure that you're not eating too close to bedtime. And I would suggest that you stop eating before it gets dark. One of the metabolic hormonal processes that we have is when it starts to get dark, our melatonin comes up. And when our melatonin comes up, our body starts to release melatonin to help us rest, to get into that restful time to sleep. If there's glucose in your body, in your blood, melatonin is there, and they're like, okay, why is this glucose here? We don't know what, we're going to store it. And it'll be stored in fat, belly fat. So if you could stop eating before dark, it has to do with your circadian rhythm, the natural way we were created. But if you can stop eating before dark, and I know that can be hard, especially where I am, it gets dark, it can be dark at 4:30 at certain times of the year. But if you put that into practice, that will really help your body to tap into that fat burning mode when you go to bed. And in all this, we want to make sure that we are setting realistic goals. You want to make sure that you are putting into place goals that you can stick by, because the only diet, the only plan, the only fasting schedule, the only exercise workout that you're going to stick to that's going to work for you is the one you can stick to long term. So I always suggest, first of all, find your why. What is your reason? And since this video is about belly fat, well, your reason could be because you want to look and feel your best. That's a great reason. And that usually is the number one reason that motivates people. But beyond that, what is it? Longevity, it's health. You want to make sure you're not developing chronic diseases that you have to deal with for the rest of your life. So have a why, find out what you can do and stick to it, and start to build your fasting plan so that you can lose the belly fat, but also heal other things, feel your best, have mental clarity and all the energy you need for this second half of life. And being patient with this whole process. Once you know what is working for you, And once you start to build this lifestyle little by little, step by step, day by day, week by week, month by month, your life will start to transform. Be patient with yourself. Don't think it's going to happen overnight. I will say, changing your diet, fasting, and making sure you're getting adequate exercise, water, sleep, and reducing your stress is the fastest secret to getting rid of belly fat. Because all these systems that are working together are being healed, are working the way they're supposed to work. And know that God has a plan for you, and He wants you to be healthy. He wants you to address these issues on your body that need to be addressed for your longevity and your better health, so that you feel your best and able to step into the life that He has placed around you. So just be patient. Pray, be patient, and know that you are doing exactly what you're supposed to do when you are taking care of your body, which takes care of your soul and your mind. So that's what I wanted to talk with you about today. Please make sure to comment below. What are you going to put into place? Is belly fat, has that been a struggle for you? What do you think that you could start doing today that will help with that? And as always, leave any questions or any comments below. And if there's something that you want to address, a challenge with being healthy in midlife, a fasting lifestyle, those types of things, drop it below and I will try to do a video for it in the future. And I will talk to you in the next video.